This is RTA 25 News at 11, Chicago's fastest growing news.
Good afternoon, I'm Rondell Joseph. Welcome to RTA 25 News at 11. Topping our news this half hour, Mike Hamernik, weekend meteorologist at WGN TV, has passed away. Hamernik's sister Kathleen and WGN has confirmed his passing was from lung cancer this morning at the age of 60. The Chicago native started his career at Weather Central Incorporated in 1992, then worked at KGAN in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, later on at KTTC Television as chief meteorologist from 1994 through 2001. Hamernik later came home to Chicago in 2002 as a meteorologist at CLTV, later on at WGN since 2005. He was one of the originals of the revived WGN Weekend Morning News since 2010, where he held his position until his passing. RTA 25 will have much more on his legacy later on the news at 11:30 and again at 4. I will admit I've met Mike Hamernik when I was in high school just 2 years ago. He was a down-to-earth kind guy, and I'm extremely sad regarding his passing. My condolences to WGN and his family. New this afternoon, NewsNation's top lieutenant, Jennifer Lyons, quits the station, and the big boss at Nexstar is taking another project approach. According to Robert Feeder, Nexstar president and CEO Perry Sook had intentions on launching a morning show for NewsNation. He says his goal was to have it launched before the end of September. Just last week, 2 other resignations were announced by news director Sandy Pudar and managing editor Richard Mangin. Currently, NewsNation has been growing credibility speculations since the word of former Fox News executive Bill Shine, which role has been kept secret by Chairman Sook, but was revealed by Pudar, who blew the whistle. Coming up, when RTA 25 News at 11 continues, a look at an armed robbery attempt went wrong on the south side. Also, 2 high-end vehicles were stolen at O'Hare. Later on at 11:30, we'll continue to follow more details regarding the passing of Mike Hamernik. Stick around, you're watching RTA 25 News at 11. Welcome back. A 69-year-old man shot a would-be robber. According to Chicago police, this all happened along the 10,000 block of South Levette just before 10:45 when the man was approached by 3 men who demanded his belongings. He pulled out his gun and shot one of the thieves in the knee, and they fled in a red Ford Fusion. The car later crashed at 87th and Vincennes, and the 3 men were trying to run on foot but were taken into custody into the hospital for an evaluation. Currently, Area 2 detectives are investigating this incident. Chicago police are investigating after several expensive cars were stolen from a Hertz rental car company near O'Hare. This all happened just before 1 o'clock this morning at a facility on Zemke Road, just off Manheim. Police are reviewing the footage, and one of the vehicles appeared to have been dumped on the 1800 block of South Lawndale just before 6:45 this morning. No one is in custody at this time, but we'll continue to follow the story as much more becomes available. We'll be right back with our look at the second half of RTA 25 News at 11:30.
RTA 25 News at 11 continues.
Now at 11:30, we're continuing to follow more news of Mike Hamernik's passing. Thank you for staying with us this second half hour. Hamernik turned 60 back in February and had been off the air due to lung cancer for the past few weeks. On Twitter, his sister Kathleen confirmed his passing on his Twitter account. His passion for weather traces back to when he was 6 years old, and by the time he was 8, he began collecting and studying weather maps provided to him by Chicago weather legend Harry Volkman, who was WGN's chief meteorologist at the time. Hamernik's father, Donald, worked at WGN as a staff musician for Bozo's Circus and Artists Showcase. We'll continue to follow Mike's passing later on the news at 4 o'clock. My heart and deepest condolences, of course, go to WGN and Mike's family. Other news to turn to here at 11:30, NBC5 and Telemundo Noticiero boss David Dobler is set to retire. According to Feeder, the 59-year-old said he's stepping down voluntarily to spend time with his wife Susan. On his watch, NBC5 has increased news audience shares, which is either beaten or tied with ABC 7 News at 10. He oversaw the retirement of sports anchor Mike Adamle and the return of Stephen Holt and other hirings of folks such as Jeff Blanzy. The Philadelphia native native and graduate of Rowan University in New Jersey, spent 8 years as president of WVIT in Hartford, Connecticut. Also held positions in Raleigh, North Carolina, and Birmingham, Alabama. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back with a final look at your service changes. Finally, here at 11, the CTA has a service change along the State Street Bridge. So southbound buses 29 State and 36 Broadway will operate via State, Kinsey, Clark, and Wacker and resume the normal route on State. State Street northbound will operate via State, Wacker, Dearborn, on Kinsey and State. Southbound 62 Archer will operate at Kinsey and State, operate via Kinsey, State, Hubbard, Clark, and Wacker, then resume the normal route on State. This will last until about 2:30 this afternoon. For more information, you can contact the CTA at 1-888-YOUR-CTA. That'll wrap up our news at 11 for this Wednesday afternoon. Thank you for being with us. We hope to see you again later on at 4 and 5. Have a great afternoon.